Hi, welcome to this video. And happy holidays and a happy new year coming up around the corner here. And today there is a full moon in Cancer happening opposite the sun in Capricorn, both at 8 degrees and 53 minutes of their respective places. And it will be exactly opposite at 7:27 p.m. Pacific time. So this full moon is sextile Uranus, which is at 6 degrees 49 minutes and is retrograde still, and squaring off to Chiron, which actually just went direct not too long ago in Aries, and it's at 5 degrees 2 minutes of Aries. So this full moon may have brought up a lot of unexpected emotional stuff coming to the surface, and a lot of healing around your childhood and parents and things like that could be coming up a lot because the moon in Cancer is in its sign, and then the sun in Capricorn is a very patriarchal kind of energy. So there we've got the matriarchal energy and the patriarchal energy, and then the Chiron in Aries squaring off to both of those things, which is the child. So Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, so it's very childlike. So there's a lot of healing going on around family dynamics, and especially around your childhood and your parents and things like that. With Uranus involved, of course, this brings up the more unexpected energies. And so yeah, and I'll talk more about Uranus in a minute when it's because Jupiter conjunct Saturn. So Jupiter is at 2 degrees 22 minutes of Aquarius, and Saturn's at 1 degree 25 minutes of Aquarius. And they are sextile Chiron in Aries and squaring to Uranus in Taurus. And of course that square will be more exact as the new year comes along, because there will be an exact square happening. Well, one of them squares in January and one of them squares in February. So these are, it's coming up here. So it's forming, and the energies are building towards that square as we speak. So with it sextiling Chiron, this is bringing up wounds around friendship. So there have been a lot of healing energies going on around like friendships in childhood and friendships in general, that where, the wounds that need to be healed are being brought to light within your conscious awareness so that you can become aware of them and heal them and really come to a greater understanding of perhaps your own psychological nature as a result. And there is a lot of stuff coming up with this Uranus square Saturn and Jupiter. This is like, okay, so there's a lot to really unpack in this one, because this could be a sort of destruction or like an implosion of our current system as we know it. And this implosion that is occurring is kind of, it's going to be necessary, because what has happened now is that we're questioning, like, is our government really by, of, and for the people at this time? And the answer to that one is pretty obvious, that it is not really by, for, and of the people, because if it was, it would have been there for the people, many times over, because there's been a lot of incidents where it has not been by, for, and of the people. So because Jupiter conjunct Saturn is in Aquarius, it is a very egalitarian energy. It's a very focused on all the people. No matter what race, religion, creed, class you're from, it's about all people and more about equality and being a country or system or whatever that is by, of, and for the people. So that's what needs to happen. And the other thing that's being unpacked with this Uranus square is that Uranus in Taurus is asking us, what freedoms do we value and why too? Because this is something I was thinking about, like, where do you draw the line for freedom? Like, what freedoms are you willing to, like, sacrifice, and what freedoms are you willing to fight for? Because I feel like there is a threat to some of our freedoms that are going to have a more long-term consequence. Like with wearing masks, I have no problem with wearing a mask. There's no issue for me in regards to that. I know some people have an issue with it, but for me, it's about, okay, I'm willing to maybe sacrifice a little bit of comfort, sacrifice my, ability to show my face, whatever, not a big deal. But it's because I value, other people's well-being. And so that freedom is something that I care about because, I don't care about, in terms of, because it's not like, okay, it's more of a personal freedom rather than a freedom that affects everybody. Like me wearing a mask is something I'm willing to sacrifice for the good of all. Now, I don't want to be tracked. I don't want technology to be so advanced that it has facial recognition everywhere you go. I feel like that's an infringement upon our freedom. I feel like it's an infringement upon our privacy. It's an infringement of our comings and goings. Like, I don't want that kind of invasiveness. So that's a freedom I'm willing to fight for. It's something I care about. But when it comes to, basically, weighing out the freedoms, it's about, okay, it's for me, okay, yeah, that's what I wanted to say is personal freedom at the expense of others is not right. But personal freedom that affects everybody, now that's something worth fighting for. So you know what I mean? Anyways, that's something with Uranus and Taurus, what it is you value. What freedoms do you value? And what freedoms are more important to you? For me, it is about the well-being of the whole. For me, this Aquarian energy is extremely resonant to the way I think because I am an empathic person. So if something affects you, it affects me too. It just happens. I don't mean for it to be that way, but it is that way. If you're affected, I get affected. I feel bad. I feel bad for the people who are homeless right now. I feel bad for the people who are on the streets every day. Whenever I drive by them, and if I don't have anything to give, I just feel terrible about it. And so that's something that affects me, even if it doesn't personally affect me. So to me, this is about, empathy and freedom and what it is you value and what it is we need to start thinking more collectively as a people so that we can all be lifted above a certain level. So we're not witnessing the suffering that's happening on the streets and witnessing the garbage too, because when you have homeless people, there's garbage everywhere because they have nowhere to throw it, or it's inconvenient for them to throw it away probably. If they're homeless, they don't have a dump truck coming over to pick up their garbage. Anyways, what affects those people is affecting all of us. That's the point I'm trying to make. Anyways, just going on a tirade over here. Okay. So Venus, moving on to the next part here. Venus at 18 degrees, 5 minutes of Sagittarius is conjunct the South Node at 19 degrees, 57 minutes of Sagittarius. So that is also something that kind of brought up that for me as well. And it's squaring off to Neptune, by the way, at 18 degrees, 26 minutes of Pisces. So what this conjunction of Venus to the South Node in Sagittarius, it seems to be bringing up, what is most important to us? And, letting go of all beliefs and philosophies and values that are actually not serving us, that are built in illusion, the letting go of the illusions that are not serving us. So with Venus and Sagittarius, it kind of wants to get to the truth of the matter. It wants to be like, okay, what it is that is your highest ideals, what it is that is your like highest values and beliefs. So we're looking at that and we're really reiterating what those things are for ourselves and letting go of all of the excesses, all of the unnecessary things, all of the illusions, really, because with Neptune and Pisces, sometimes, you know, it kind of over-idealizes certain things, like over-glamorizes things, and with Venus conjunct the South Node, I feel like it's getting to the core of what is the most valuable thing to you, what is the most valuable thing to your you know, your core belief system and what you want to see in the world. And then Mercury at 14 degrees, 42 minutes of Capricorn is forming a sextile with Neptune and Pisces. So Mercury in Capricorn helps us to be more realistic and bring that more idealistic energy of Neptune, the more intuitive energy of Neptune, so we can tap into more collective need or collective energy, the maybe the dreams or whatever that we're envisioning, the imaginings we have on a day-to-day basis, and really communicating those things or writing those things down and making them more concrete by doing that. And then Mars at 26 degrees, 34 minutes of Aries is square Pluto at 24 degrees, 8 minutes of Capricorn, and that square is now fading. And I did talk about this square in my last video, but it is about power struggles and keeping our egos in check when we feel like we're getting kind of worked up or something, like energies of, you know, egoic, you know, moments could come up for us where we need to kind of keep our ego in check and be like, oh, calm down, ego, you know, not a big deal. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to like, subscribe, comment, and share. And I appreciate all the new subscribers. I recently reached 500, and I just want to say thank you to everybody for being a subscriber and for watching my videos. I appreciate it so much. Have an awesome time and an awesome new year. Bye.